Sporting Dog Adventures, run boy run.
Awesome.
Everything you
Good
need
boy,
is here under the sun. Everything you need is here under the sun.
The Sporting Dog Adventures podcast is proudly brought to you by Soggy Acres Retrievers. Whether you're looking for a black, yellow, or chocolate Labrador Retriever puppy, please check out our website for more information at www.soggyacres.com. You can also email Jeff at sportingdogtv@gmail.com or call 262-215-9683. And remember, everyone deserves a soggy dog. Hey, welcome to the Sporting Dog Adventures podcast. I am your hapless host, Jeff Fuller, and we have a great show for you today. So I wanted to talk about a few things that have come to mind from hunting season starting, conversations with people we've had in the blinds, at duck camp, all that good stuff. The main topic is going to be whether it would be better for waterfowl hunting to own property or whether it would be better to own a really nice boat. In the dog tip section, I want to talk about something that it's just not covered enough, and that is proper socialization, and explain a few things that I've seen with dogs that weren't properly socialized. And then lastly, in the hunting tip section, if you own a property that's waterfowl property, but also has deer, multitasking. And that would be going out on a deer hunt with, I guess, scouting for ducks in mind. So it'll be a fun show. I hope you guys stay tuned through all of it. It's something that a lot of the topics aren't going to be ones that you hear covered often. And that's why I thought they would be good for a podcast. So I had a couple of guys up, and they were hunting our property, and they talked about looking for property, and they talked about how they really wanted a really good waterfowl property. I have what many would consider a really good waterfowl property, but it is at the whim of water level. So this year we started out teal season. We had a solid teal season. Duck season, big duck season started. We had a good start to it, and we've had a drought, and now the water is gone. We had run this property as a hunting lodge for a while when we were back, when we were still filming our TV show, Sporting Dog Adventures TV. And it's a neat property. I love deer hunting. So when the water is low, it just makes the deer hunting better. So it's just transitioning and honestly not being stubborn. I had a year when I had high water. There were a lot of ducks, but I really wanted to get a deer. And the deer weren't quite there. They were, but not to the level that they normally are. I sacrificed what would have been a phenomenal duck season because I was being stubborn and trying to get a deer. So I've learned with this property to basically take what's given to me. So this year, especially this summer, we had high water. It was looking like it was going to be a waterfowl year. We started out opening weekend. We had, I would say, average to slightly below average water levels, but it looked good. And our property is on a watershed that's controlled by a dam. We didn't get rain for a lot of August, most of September. As we got into October, we were 6-7 days into the season. The water level started to drop and drop fast. Now it is to the point where you could duck hunt if you wanted, but you're looking at not great hunting, and there's not much water, and it's turned into a deer year. What I had suggested to those guys was, especially in our state of Wisconsin, where we don't have properties that are flooded, where you can control the water level. There are a few, but there's not many. It's not like areas down south. I suggested that in our area, if you're really into waterfowl hunting, I would have a kick-ass boat and then make time to go out and scout and really find good spots to go in your larger watersheds, whether it would be the Mississippi River area, the Wisconsin River area, Horicon Marsh area. Find good areas where you can get in with your boat. Don't focus as much on opening weekend because that is going to be your hunting public. It's going to be kind of a crapshoot. There's lots of guys. But once you get several weekends in, pretty much everyone in Wisconsin turns to deer. So that would be my look at it. Is when I look at a property like mine where it was set up where we were going to have a good season, it was looking solid, and now it's just done. Man, if waterfowl hunting was all I worried about, it would be yet another disappointment where not having a boat, I'd either have to buy a boat or I'd have to start going for some travel and trying to book some hunts at other places or go places in other states and scout and try to get permission. It wouldn't be the level of fun that I would be looking for if I only wanted a waterfowl property. Now, the other thing I discussed with them was if you're into deer hunting as well, having waterfowl property or having a marsh, in my opinion, I would do that every day of the week and twice on Sunday when I'm purchasing, because one, it is the bedding area for the deer, and you can also duck hunt it, so it gives you something to do when the deer aren't running yet. It also is a lot cheaper. In my home state of Wisconsin, when I was buying property, you were pretty much at a 40% to 50% relative cost per acre to buy marsh as opposed to buying dry land. Why I like marsh if I am going to deer hunt, the deer don't leave. You can't push them out of it. I've had deer stand up 10 feet from me when we're walking or when we're driving in an Argo because they feel so safe. They have those cattails that in the early season are, my goodness, some of them are 8 feet tall and they are dense. If you've never walked through cattails, you have to. It is thick and it is unforgiving. That is where the deer are going to be. The other cool part about deer hunting, if you own the bedding area, you're not having to wait for the deer to show up like you are in a food area. You're going to see deer a lot earlier. It's just going to make sure that you're patterning them, scouting, having it set. You're also going to be the area that the deer go when the pressure is on. When you get into where people are archery hunting quite a bit, or during our gun season in Wisconsin, the deer run to our property because that is, again, that thick and unforgiving area where they are safe. They are going to hear someone coming. They're going to be able to escape on their escape route. Then on top of it, we've got our waterfowl hunting. So it's a dual property, very versatile. You own the bedding area. And it's something, again, when I was buying property, your dry land property was running probably around $5,000 an acre. I was buying property for about $1,700 an acre. It is cool because you can own 200 acres as opposed to, generally about 80 acres. And it is going to hold more deer per acre than your dry land is going to. Even when it is wet, when the pressure is on, I will get deer pictures on my game cameras where the deer look like they have black socks on because they are going in mud. They are staying safe. They're staying alive. And they're on our property. So again, if you're looking for waterfowl only, you can buy property, but I would find something where you can manipulate the water level. If you are going for waterfowl only and you have a property that you can't control the water level on, you have to understand that there are going to be some years where you just aren't going to have birds. That's been the last 2.5 years. I would say half year for this year. We had a good teal season, good opening week, and now we're pretty much done. The 2 years before that, man, it was rough. We had pretty much no water, and we shot more birds this year than we did the 2 years prior. So think of that when you're looking. Think of that when you're putting your time in, and then also look at your surrounding areas. If you're looking for a duck property, find an area that has a lot of different marshes, lakes that are going to hold birds so that you can kind of put yourself right in the middle of all that, as opposed to having one area, it's hunted, the birds leave. So that would be my tip for you if you're looking for a hunting property or to buy a good boat. Those are the options. Next up, I want to talk about the importance of socializing a dog. And then after that, we'll have our hunting tip. All that and more coming up after this.
Welcome to Boucher in Janesville, where customer service is our #1 priority.
Our customers come back to us because of the experience that we provide for them.
We're here to make sure that we find you the right car, one that fits your budget, and do so in a timely manner.
When we say we ride with you every mile, it means we care about you and how you are treated.
Estamos con personal que habla español en los departamentos de servicio y venta.
Our certified technicians are here to help you with all your service needs.
Visit us today at Boucher.com.
At Boucher, we ride with you every mile.
If you love the shooting sports like I do, you need to check out our friends at Mech Outdoors. They have fantastic products, whether you're looking at shot shell or metallic reloading, or you want to get yourself a clay thrower so you can practice up for the season. For more information, check out their website at mechoutdoors.com. Hey, welcome back to the show. So, the importance of socialization. It is something that I don't think people realize how big of a deal it is. When I'm talking about socialization, I'm talking about spending time and giving a dog attention. There are so many out there that think that we just hire a dog out, they're outside, they're fine. We put them in a kennel, we give them a little bit of love every once in a while, we close them up, we leave them out there, they're outside. Even if they're with another dog, the thought is that that's enough. It just comes down to, if you can't spend time with a dog, don't get one. I've seen some truly sad things with dogs that weren't properly socialized, where they don't get along with other dogs or even people because they're finally getting attention and they're willing to fight for it, where dogs will be in a kennel too much and they'll spin in circles and just spin and spin and spin and run in circles because something's broken inside them. I've seen now dogs that were quite aggressive because they didn't get attention. I've seen a dog that was tied outside in the heat as a puppy, did not know its name, really struggled with being in a home, got into a home, got the love, and then still had a mental break where she was snapping at imaginary bugs. She thought she was under attack, and it went on until the dog was put on medication. All of these things are preventable. And it comes down to, you have to give dogs time. It honestly isn't any different than when we look at children coming from orphanages. You look at people that are adopting from countries abroad, and these kids are coming in and they have major issues, and it's because they didn't get attention. They were just locked into a room. And it's the same with dogs. We have to give them attention. I'm not trying to put it at the same level as child abuse, but it is abuse of an animal when you have them and you're just assuming that you can just lock them away and only bring them out when you want them. Again, if you don't have time, don't get an animal. They need to be cared for. They need attention. They're social animals, and they need love. They will give you unconditional love back. They are so great. Dogs have gotten me through the worst times that I've gone through in my life, and for those that have followed me, know that I've had quite a few challenges. They deserve better. They deserve that attention, and it is abuse to not give it to them. Many of these animals that weren't properly socialized will end up, at best, on an outside property where they can roam and at least not be around people where they will get into conflict. And at worst, they're having to put them down. It is something where you can take on these challenges when you get a dog that isn't properly socialized. But in the end, However, it affects their brain, their chemistry, and its development. Many times it's something that's not recoverable to the point where they would be a normal dog. These are dogs that are in kennels with trainers that don't get proper attention daily, that run competitively. These are dogs that are taken as puppies and people think they're getting a koala bear and not a velociraptor, and they're locked away. These are people that just want a hunting dog and assume that's all they're going to use them for and lock them away unless they take them out hunting. It is incumbent on myself as a breeder to explain this to people. It's incumbent on us as a society to understand that these wonderful animals, that, in my opinion, are a gift from God, also need the love and care that they deserve because they have to develop properly and their brains need certain things. And one of those things is love and attention. So again, if you're going to get a dog, make sure you can afford them the attention. It's part of the investment that you're putting in. Your investment is financial, it is in your training and time, and it is giving them proper love and attention. So I hope that helps. Next up, I want to talk about the multifaceted approach I use at my property when I'm deer hunting and also scout for ducks. All that and more coming up after this. It's Jeff Fuller from the Sporting Dog Adventures podcast, and I need a little help. Please stop what you're doing and give us a 5-star rating. Follow us on the platform you're on. Give us a thumbs up. And above all, share our podcast with your friends and family. Our podcast will grow even more, and we can get more people involved in the sport we love with dogs in the field. The Sporting Dog Adventures podcast is proudly brought to you by Soggy Acres Retrievers. Whether you're looking for a black, yellow, or chocolate Labrador Retriever puppy, please check out our website for more information at www.soggyacres.com. You can also email Jeff at sportingdogtv@gmail.com or call 262-215-9683. And remember, everyone deserves a Soggy dog. Hey, welcome back to the show. Last part of the show. If you ask my wife how I am at multitasking, she'll tell you that I'm terrible at it. But with hunting, I'm actually pretty solid at it on our property. I've got a couple of stands that I will sit for deer, where I've got a relatively good chance of seeing some deer, maybe getting myself a nice buck, and also where I can watch an area to see if the birds are working. It is just one of those spots where I love watching birds work. I love seeing deer. I can do a little of both. Hopefully I don't get myself in a position where I get distracted by watching the birds work and all of a sudden realize there's deer standing in front of me. But it is something that it's just a fun thing to do. There's a couple of different stands we have that's kind of like right in the heart of our property. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see if it actually would make sense for us to go up and duck hunt this weekend. If you have a property like that, I'm sure you enjoy it as well. This is fall. It is our time, and I can go out and scout for birds and hunt for deer at the same time. So I hope you guys are enjoying your season so far. If it started, if it hasn't, I hope you're excited for it too. And I hope you are getting out there. Hope everyone has a great week. Take care, and God bless.
Sporting Dog Adventures run